Yo, check it, the hour power. POD cast is upon your ass. Spitting on the mic is the NZ boss, and his homie DJ NZ the Oz. Yeah, don't twitch, don't snitch, don't switch. Just open up your senses. And now listen to the hour power. To the hour power. To the hour power.
All right, let's go.
To the hour
Welcome
power.
to episode 3 of Our Power, proudly sponsored by ASN, asnonline.co.nz, Muscle Farm, and josephparker.com. It's your boy, NSNZ boss, CEO of Nutrition Systems New Zealand, Shane Hunter. We've got the co-host, Juro at DJ Big Wig, Nutrition Systems Australia, Director of Operations. And today we are very, very blessed to have the WBO heavyweight champion of the world out of Samoa and New Zealand, Joseph Parker. Turbo.
Sure, brother.
Thank you for your time, bro. Like, we're very blessed and honored to have you on our show today. We know that you're 2 weeks out from the road to the undisputed unification title match against Anthony Joshua. So, how's the training going? How's it all going?
Firstly, it's thanks for having me on. Really appreciate the time. The training's gone. I reckon this is probably the best camp I've had since ever. And the reason why I say that is because it's the most focused I've been. It's been a lot of hard work here in camp, a lot of pain, but I love it and I'm enjoying it. And also, just the structure of this camp has been the best. We've added a strength and conditioning coach, which we think has complemented what we're trying to achieve in the ring in terms of movement, angle, speed. And, I feel like I'm in great shape. I've lost weight. I'm looking sharp. The abs are nearly coming out, so hopefully they're out in weigh-in day.
You're going to be Grisby for weigh-in, eh? Grisby?
Grisby like you, but, not up to your level, but, just a little bit under.
So, you go into your camps over in Vegas with Kevin Barry, and, that's 12 weeks or 14 weeks of just intense, cardio, strength training, nutrition. Like, is there any other insight you want to give us to, what your day looks like?
Yeah, so like, a day in the first 3 or 4 weeks of camp, we train 3 times a day, 6 days a week. And then once we start the second half of camp, we sort of cut it down to 2 times a day when we add in sparring. But we do, like, in terms of, it's just Monday, for example, we run in the morning, we have breakfast, we rest. We have 2 hours of boxing in the gym, then lunch and rest, and we have 2 hours of conditioning. So it's pretty intense. And then there's all other things that we add, like physio, neuromuscular specialists. We go to cryotherapy, and we see a mental coach. So there's when camp is pretty full on, and it's everyone's doing their part to make me the best fighter I can be come fight night.
Yeah, awesome, unbelievable. I think people don't really understand, how intense it is and how much work you have to do in these camps to prepare for that night in the ring. Yeah,
it's a lot of work, but you learn to love it. I love boxing. I have a passion for it. I love that I can rely on my team. I think the most important thing is I'm a boxer and I have the talent, but I can't do without the team that I have. So everyone's played a big part, and even the supporters play a big part in helping motivate me to train hard, represent our countries, and make us proud.
Oh, yeah. I love, we send messages back and forth, and I just always love your positivity. Brother, I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm doing all I can do to be the best version of me. I'm ready. And I love hearing that, just that motivation.
I think our messages between each other, because I know that you're working hard, and you know that I'm working hard, and I think the only way that we can help each other is send positive vibes. And this, like I said, when we're in camp, even though it's hard work and it's painful, but we're laughing all the time. We're having fun. We're having there's moments of joy. So I think when you're training this hard, you have to be happy. And everyone around you has to be happy. So you've got to keep that happy environment around you.
I wasn't actually making a joke about Shano working hard, but Joseph, you're a boxer. I'm not going to mess with you, man. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on that one. But I did Sorry, go Shane. You're more important, man. Go.
Well, what you see on Instagram is real, bro. My Instagram is real. I'm always working. Joe knows it.
Yeah, I always see you working.
Joseph, you mentioned mental preparation, so I had a question about that mental toughness. I mean, it's one thing preparing for a big event like this is staged, on TV all over the world, and a lot of media following you. Of course, you're representing yourself, your country, your family. So there's a lot of mental toughness that's been built into you. But what about when you're in the ring? I mean, there's a lot of discipline involved. There's obviously a game plan you have to stick to, but there's also maybe a voice inside your head saying, you know what, I just want to let loose now or change something. Do you come across that often, and how do you handle it? How do you battle that voice in your head to stick to the plan and the game plan?
Yeah, that's a good question. With each fight and with each opponent, we sit down, we study, and then we come up with a game plan which we think we can use to get the better of the opponent. And my plan and my focus in the fight is to go out there and execute this plan that we put in place. And if I do execute it well, everything will be a lot better, a lot smoother. But there are times where I'm in there, one punch hits me, and I'm like, damn, man, I want to smash this guy. And then sometimes you let loose, sometimes you stay calm. But I think the most important part of practicing this is when you're in camp sparring, when the coach is calling out to you to do this and to do that. And when you get your hit in sparring, the more you practice it, the more you're able to control your emotions, control the anger within, and focus on the plan and try your best to execute that plan.
Yeah,
well
awesome.
said, man.
Yeah, I'd probably want to run if I was in the ring. But I'll just rewind a little bit back, bro. Like, when was your passion, or when did you decide you really wanted to be a professional boxer? Because I heard your mum, she wasn't that sort of keen at the idea. And as lovely as your mum is, because I've met her, I wouldn't want to upset her either. So,
she wanted, she was more into studies and and have a fallback plan if I didn't do well in boxing. But the passion for boxing probably grew at the age of about 5 or 6, and then I started loving the sport. My dad introduced us to the sport, made us watch films of boxers like Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Roy Jones Jr. And when I started watching this, I started loving the sport. I started wanting to learn. I wanted to train. I wanted to get better. And then my dad started backstepping. He's like, son, boxing's a dangerous sport. I don't want you to get hurt. And then I said, Dad, it's too late. I really love the sport, so you can't really do much about it. And probably at the age of 16, when I started beating up guys in their 20s, I felt, this is, if I do train hard, if I set goals, if I aim to achieve something in boxing, I can actually achieve it if I train hard.
Yeah, awesome. DJ.
Yo, I'm here.
You wanted to ask?
I'm just in awe. I'm just taking this in. I'm taking notes, Joseph. Because Shane often challenges me, man, and I just got to be ready. But I was going to ask you. So, once the fight's over, what's the first thing you look forward to? I mean, obviously there's a lot of mental pressure, as we discussed. Physically, you'd be drained. You have a lot of commitments to sponsors, media, and so forth. So what's the first thing you look forward to after the fight's over?
Oh, the first thing, to be honest, most recently is the first thing that I look forward to see my daughter. Now that I have a daughter, she's she's not around for camp, but she's not around when the fight's on. But I always call back home if I'm overseas. And the other thing that I look forward to is a big, juicy burger, a nice burger with some fries. So that's a treat, and the reason why I say that, because this camp has been so good, and I've been so I've been strict with my sort of eating and diet. I haven't had fizzy, chocolate, a burger for 9 weeks. I'm looking forward to putting on a great display, and the first thing I want to do is call my daughter and then have a burger right next to me, eating it while I talk to her.
Is it true, bro? You get a free lifetime supply of BK Whoppers?
I was given a lot of vouchers, and then I ran out of vouchers, and then our deal finished, and so they gave me this card that was like 30% off, but then that card expired, so now I have to buy full price, which is okay. I support them.
Oh, those adverts you did for them, bro, they were legendary. I love watching those on TV.
They were a good sponsor.
And back to the pies. Those BP pies, you got to be missing those a little bit. I know
right.
when we
Right.
trained in NZ, you're smashing a few of those up.
Yeah, the pies from the picture, the BP, they're nice. Like honestly, New Zealand's got the best pies. There's one pie shop next to my house that I've visited ever since I was 5 years old. Graham Ave Bakery, beautiful pies. You know, they got all these different pies, but they're coming to camp not in the best shape and working hard. My goal now is to, after the fight, to look after my body a bit better. Now that I'm getting a bit more mature, and try my best to. You can have a treat now and then, but just look after the body because it's important. Not only for boxing, but for your entire life.
Yeah, and we discussed it when we were together in NZ. Like, you're the heavyweight champion of the world every day, so you need to be in the absolute peak physical condition, or physical and mental, or as close to it as you can be all year round.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, and it is important. So I'm going to make better effort to keep in shape and to keep working. And now I've got a structure in place for after the fight, because I need a structure to follow. I've got a workout plan that I'm going to follow, and a sort of diet plan. So it's important. It's important to look after yourself.
What are your ultimate goals in boxing, bro? Like, what do you want to achieve?
Oh, firstly, I set the goal to be New Zealand champ, and I've ticked that off. I've set the goal to be world champion, to tick that off. Now I want to be the unified champion. I want to be the unified champion. I want to be involved in the biggest there are to be involved in. And my goal is to retire at the age of 30, 31, no matter where I'm at in the sport. Hopefully invest well, look after myself, look after my family, and just live a good life.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
the dream, man.
Awesome. Yeah, you're on the way, bro. You've banged over so many achievements at such a young age, and it seems like you've been around a long time, but you're so young, So, yeah,
Just
congratulations
for
on that.
Listeners,
thank you.
Joseph, how old are you right now?
I'm 26.
So
26 years old.
Going on to 27, or just turned 26?
Just turned 26, going on 27 next year.
Man, that is young.
And your professional career is 24-0 with 18 by way of knockout. So that's crazy.
Before
it's been a talent. I've been given a talent from above, and I've worked hard to get to where I am. But like I said, most importantly, it's that team that you have around you. It's everyone plays a big part. So even though I'm blessed with this talent, I'm working hard, but everyone plays a big part. So, and I'm pretty fortunate to be in a position that I am through hard work and through being blessed. And my goal in the future is to, I really want to open up a promotional company and give the opportunity that I've had to other young, not only boxers but musicians and other talented. We've got so much talent down in outside of the world that we need to put on the world stage.
Yeah, in New Zealand, I know all the everyone in New Zealand, but specifically Polynesians, Samoans, Māoris, Rarotongans, Tongans, everyone look up to you. Anyone that knows that I'm associated with you, through our sponsorship with Muscle Farm Nutrition System, which I always blast over social media. Everyone just has so much praise for you and sincerely wants to see you succeed. That first time we met, well, not even the first time we met, the first time I actually saw you and Kevin Barry on a plane from Invercargill, I said to Andy Durston, my director of operations, man, this guy's special. Just the way that you conducted yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you have time for people, you're real and honest. I said, man, this guy's he's gonna be the heavyweight champion of the world, and that was only 3 or 4 years ago that we met. So I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to have this relationship.
Hey, listen, it's been a great relationship, and I think growing up, the standards that your parents instill in you, the church plays a big part, and then it's just how you are. But also, like when you bring up our relationship, I tell you this, you're probably one of the first sponsors that took a chance on us. Not many people wanted to touch boxing, not many people wanted to support us, but then when we linked up, I was so excited and so happy to get this product and be looked after. And I just want to say thanks for you are honestly one of the first people that actually saw something in us, teamed up with us, and it gave us that great support.
Nah, it's been an honor and a pleasure, bro. Loved every part of it, and what we've got ahead of us as well.
Yeah, we've got a big things ahead.
That's really nice of
100%, bro.
Shano. The first time I asked him for a bucket of protein, he told me to go get fucked, pretty much. You must have got him on a good day.
Sorry, bro. I knew you were going nowhere. Sorry, brother. I still looked after you, though. After you.
Someone has to, man. Joe, before we spend some time talking about your opponent and the upcoming week, but I wanted to ask you, smack talk. Where does that stand in sport, and does it affect you? Have you noticed it affected an opponent? Are you involved in it? Can you give the fans and the listeners some insight into smack talking and, you know, what that it's all about? Is it real? What is it, man?
Oh, the truth is, sometimes when you say things, I've said a few things that I regret. I feel like I shouldn't have said some of those things, but sometimes you say it to, you know, firstly hype up the fight. Another thing is you say it because you want to keep the negotiations going. You want to keep the fight alive so you can lock something in. But it's not really part of who I am. And I think it shouldn't be a part of sport. I guess that's how sometimes you sell fights, and that's how you get the other person's attention. But I think in all sports, you know, everyone should show respect because it's hard enough being involved in a sport and participating. So just I think respect, you know, towards each other. But when you're in a ring or when you're challenging anyone in any other sport, just go for it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's you're not playing Tiddlywinks or Marble, eh, bro? So that emotion's gonna come out sometimes. Sometimes I get the dandle around the ears or throw at me if I haven't mowed the lawns or I don't empty the dishwasher, bro. So you know, going in the boxing ring's a bit different.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Keeps me young and on my toes. I just want to ask a question about the Barry family, bro. Kevin, Taylor, you know, Mama Barry. What sort of like it's a family unit, like you said. You're only as good as the people you're around. Do you want to touch on that?
Yeah. You know, as a fighter, it was very hard for me to leave New Zealand because of my closeness with my family, and I did everything with my family. My best friend, you know, who's my John, lives there, so it was very hard to leave New Zealand. But in saying that, when I arrived in Vegas and when I made the plan to move here, the thing that made it so easy was this family invited me in and treated me like family straight away. You know, Tanya treated me like their son. Their boys and the daughter treated me like a sibling, and that made it so much easier for me to adapt to living here for training. And Kev trains me. Tay helps out. Tanya makes all our meals, and so it's like I said, it's a team effort. And everyone's playing their part to make me the best that I could be, and I'm very thankful for the team that I have.
Yeah, I can see that. I know who you are, you know, and you're a very loyal and appreciative person, you know. So having those good people around you and having that family environment makes the whole preparation a whole lot easier. I know from my bodybuilding perspective, Odette cooks all my meals. If she didn't cook my 7 meals a day, I'd probably only eat 2 because I'm lazy. I'll be eating those BP pies. So I know what it's like to have that environment, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, it's very important, and it's you got to find the right team to help you and support you and be there for you.
Joseph, there's a lot of kids that listen to our podcast, and we want to reach out to them as well. I just wanted to brush on a social issue, especially in Australia, that we have. It's called king hit. Now, I don't know why they call him a king hit, because there's nothing king about walking up to a person, you know, 10 out of 10 times an innocent person, probably drunk, and just hitting them from behind, them falling, cracking the head, and ending up in a coma in a hospital. Now, there's no room for that in society, and obviously you do what you do for a sport, and obviously it's a job that you know, for you, boxing. Can you shed a bit of information and just your thoughts on that, and a message to the young people, you know, that's basically bullying, and obviously there's no place for it in society, hurting someone for no reason.
Yeah, listen, you're dead right. There's no room for that. That we can't accept. You know, if you want to punch someone, go to the gym, punch the bag, you know. My even though I box, right, and even if I get angry at anyone, or even if I'm upset with anyone, one thing my dad told me before I started boxing, he said, "Son, you can box, but you can never fight outside of the ring." I said, "Well, is that, Dad?" He goes, "Because fighting is meant to be for the, you know, in the ring." So We shouldn't, we shouldn't be. It's not good. It's not acceptable. You put other people's lives at risk, and we should, like I said, we should be nice to one another. We should treat each other with respect and kindness. That's how the world should be. So my message would be just to, if you feel like punching someone, go punch a wall or punch a brick to break your fist, so you don't punch again.
For sure.
Good message, though, bro. I was going to ask, bro, was there, like on the path you are, obviously there's been a lot of sacrifice and commitment, and it's been a journey. What sort of advice, you can touch on that a little bit if you want, how you sort of started and the journey to get to where you are, but also, what advice do you have to any young, aspiring athlete or person trying to reach the peak of their, chosen field?
Yeah. First, growing up as an amateur fighter or being involved in boxing is very hard in New Zealand. The reason I say that is because there's no funding, so you have to sort of find ways to fund yourself. My parents took out loans to be able to fund me on my trips to represent our country, and then so many trips. But my advice would be, if you want to do any sport, if you want to do anything in life, never give up. First, never give up. Set goals and aim to achieve them, and get good people to help you. That's my main. Without the help of good people, you can't really get to a certain stage. So you have to get the good help, and just like the main thing is never give up. Never give up. If you fail, never give up. Fail, never give up. Just keep going, keep trying, and you'll achieve it one day.
Awesome. And like growing up in New Zealand, being, having a passion to be a boxer, it would have been a lot of sacrifices. All your other mates, did they play rugby league, rugby, basketball? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, boxing is one of those sports where it's there's a lot of sacrifices. There's obviously the training part, which, like I said, it's not a sacrifice to enjoy it. There's a parts where your friends go out, your friends play in team sports, and you hang out with your friends, but you've taken this path to, and it's a sacrifice. You sacrifice going out, you sacrifice playing in team sports, you sacrifice eating nice food, you sacrifice having a drink because trying to, like I said, you're trying to achieve something that you want to do. So there's so many sacrifices, but it all pays off. Whatever you put in pays off in the future.
Yeah. True that, brother.
Joe, the fight's in Cardiff, Wales. Have you ever been to Cardiff before?
I've never been to Cardiff before, so I'm excited to be there for the first time.
Have you considered maybe walking into the ring and doing the haka? Would the Federation allow that?
I've my plan is to I'm actually working on getting the haka played before because the haka's gonna, it's one of those things that fires you up, and I'm planning on trying to get it played. I'm trying to get them to agree to let me play it before my song, so hopefully it can be allowed.
Man, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
beautiful.
As a neutral sport lover, like when I watch the All Blacks play and they do the haka, man, I'm shitting myself in the living room watching on TV, and I'm thinking, poor opponents, man, what's going through their minds?
Oh, it's fierce, but it's a good way of representing our country.
Yeah, absolutely. It represents who we are, and you're ready for battle when you get in there. I love it. And Drew had to buy an extra suitcase to take all of his muscle farm supplements in too, so I hope you have no problems with getting those through, brother.
Well, I have 3 suitcases. I had to. I seriously purchased another one.
Yeah.
Man, load it up.
Well,
You're going to need
crispy,
it.
bro. Got to keep it crispy. Have you got anything? What have you got planned for Wales? When you land, probably going to be media obligations and stuff. What's the prep look like for when you get over there?
So we fly out tomorrow. We arrive in London Saturday morning, and then we're going to go straight to the gym and work out because that's probably the best way for us to acclimatise, get used to the time change and the weather. And then we just got a lot of commitments. There's the media workout, there's press conferences, there's the weigh-in, there's sponsorship lunches and dinners. But the most important thing for us is the training that we do every day to keep in shape and to keep sharp and to keep focused on the job, which is be strong for March 31.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome.
Joseph, are you, like, from an outsider, how are you considering yourself, or how is everyone considering your approach to this? Are you seen as the favourite? Are you seen as the outsider? Can you touch on that a bit for us? Because obviously, this before this fight, I mean, especially in Australia, I'm seeing a lot on AJ, Anthony or Joshua, a lot of info on him, and honestly, I have not seen a lot about you. So we're quite intrigued, where you stand and how you see yourself going into this, and just the fact that this guy's, from our perspective, seen more of as a kind of a pretty boy, a poster boy. Do you agree with that observation?
For my opponent, when I look at him, there's a lot of respect for him and what he's achieved. Being on the separate sides of the world, he's being on that side. Their team has done a great job in terms of promoting him, marketing him, but he's done a great job of himself. He puts in the work, he trains out. He's got a 20-0 record and 20 knockouts, so you can't get a record like that just being a pretty. So there's respect for him. And going into this fight, I'm the underdog. There's a lot of people saying that I'm going to get knocked out in the first half of the fight, and but I'm going in with a mindset that I'm going to knock him out. I'm going in with a mindset that I'm going to win no matter what. So
nice.
I think I'm not worried about winning or losing. The thing I'm worried about is the challenge in front of me and executing the plan that I put in place. If I do everything right, I know that the result will be good. So as long as I'm focused, as long as I'm ready, as long as I'm determined, motivated, nothing's going to stop me.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Love it. You have to have that mindset in whatever you do to be successful and to get to where you are today. You have to have that belief in what you're doing and who you are. And, before you became heavyweight champ of the world, I was always messaging, bro, from our conversations, this is your destiny, man. It's your time. Do the work, grind it out, and go and get it, So, man, I'm looking forward to this fight.
It's so exciting seeing everything unfold. And, just having the country and, like I said, you, close friends, family, everyone behind you, there's a different feeling that you get. You're not going in just to fight for yourself. You're fighting for your friends, your family, supporters, your sponsors, your countries. And you're going to go out there and just give it everything, leave everything in the ring.
Fuck, I'm fucking subscribing to it now. What channel is it on, man? I'm putting my money in now.
Bro, you know that I'm going to have 20 or 30 cousins around my house. I'm the only one that can afford to put it on the big screen, so it's going to be a barbecue and a fat house full of Kiwis, supporting you as we do.
Just make sure you know what you're doing, Shane. I've seen you try and set up electrical equipment, man. It doesn't always end too well.
I'm hopeless. But, Joe, you've seen Jax, my little boy, he started boxing, through our relationship, me talking to you and us watching the fights and going to some of your fights. He's been exposed to you and he loves it. He's just got a passion for boxing now. So, it's awesome. I love it. And I encourage him because he enjoys doing it. It's all off his own back. And that's from being around you,
Yeah, that's the great thing. You can sort of, it can rub off to others and they can find a passion and the love for the sport themselves. And, they can start at any age, but also boxing is not only about boxing. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you respect, humility. It teaches you a lot of things. I think not only boxing, but every other sport.
Yeah,
it's an awesome foundation for anything you do in life. And it was a skill set that I wished I learned at an early age, but I can see, Jax has got a better hand than me already, and he's only 5, way better. But he's putting in the work, but he's a hard case. He hits those pads in that bag, for 20 seconds solid, and then he's like, oh, Dad, I need a break, bro. I need a break.
I actually look forward to meeting Jack soon. And, that's where they all start, though. They start, smaller, and then they take little steps.
Yeah, and I think, Odette says, are you going to let him fight? I said, the whole boxing is all on him. He loves it. He enjoys it. If it comes to a point, 4 years down the track where he wants to have a boxing match, then I'll support it and encourage it. But it's totally on him,
Yeah, that's good.
We've been
Just-
lucky, with friendship with Monty Beefham too. So he's been a good influence around the boxing. He just turned 40 the other day. Have you seen how good he's
Yeah,
looking?
I saw. Yeah, man, he looks in tremendous shape, and that's the great way of like yourselves. When you get to an older age than I am, looking after your body is very important and key. So you guys are looking in great shape. My goal is when I get to that age, I'll be in the same shape as you guys.
40-year-olds are trying
40.
to look good because there's nothing else going for them. I'm one of them, Joseph. Trust me.
I'll be impressed. You still got that haircut, Joe. Man, Monty's like completely bald. I'm running a number 0 these days.
Yeah, that's all
Keep
we
that
got to
hair
look
as long
forward
as
to,
you
I'll
man.
get a wig.
Yeah. Can you check out some wigs for us in Wales, man? I'll go blonde or black, whatever you got, man.
Bro, Juro's got no hair either, and when I lived in Australia and we're business partners over there, every Friday we'd go to Issa's barbershop to get faded up, and once Juro stopped running the regain, bro, he just went totally bored. So we'd go in and Issa would go, "What are you getting, Juro?" And he'd go, "Oh, bro, just do the eyebrows, bro. Just do the eyebrows.
Gotta get something done, man.
Gotta stay fresh."
Gotta stay fresh, man. Joseph, you mentioned on social media, this is probably the biggest following you've had by media, and your team also mentioned rather than trying to fight it, you've embraced it and used it to your advantage. Is that something that you? Because you said at the very start, you're kind of a quiet person. You got strong beliefs and you're very disciplined in that. Is that something that you found hard coming out of your shell and embracing it? And do you think that'll work to your advantage?
Yeah, the starting off in boxing, the only thing that I had in my mind was do well in boxing, make some money, look after my parents. So that was, in the beginning, the media was unexpected, and I wasn't really expecting, and I was shy and nervous, and they would ask me a question, and like a question where I had to sort of give a long answer, and I'll answer of yes or no because I was so nervous. As time went by, I started practicing and started just practicing and doing a bit more often. And now that, like I said, you enjoy the training, you enjoy the pain that comes with training, but then you enjoy everything else that you do in terms of media. Now I can answer properly.
Man, I'm just
Without
about to
saying
give
yes or
you a
no.
mic. I want to ask you to start rapping, play a backbeat. You're going that well, man.
Oh, you're polished, Joe, bro. Like you present so well, man. It's awesome. What
I think it's
and
just
going on
practice.
the,
Practice.
No,
going back to the rapping, I heard that you're gonna drop an album or something. You got a song coming out or something.
Listen, I was working on a song, but when I listened to it, it didn't really sound the best. I don't want to embarrass myself in that field, so I think I just need to practice a bit more.
Well, you can talk, man.
Yeah,
rapping's talking, with a bit of melody, and I think you got it.
We got Ty from Smash Proof to hit some rhymes on a beat for us. The intro and out of this podcast, actually. And I see he's working on something. Well, he's just released a song in honor of you with a champ.
Yeah, he's releasing a song, and honestly, the song hypes me up. I'm fortunate to have, like I said, the group of friends that I have around me. I'm doing well, but they're also doing well in what they're doing. I have Ty, I have Peter T, I have a guy named B Kid, I have George. So all my friends, they're. It's good to see myself doing well, but it gives me the opportunity to help my friends as well. And I'm very fortunate to have friends who look out for me and who think about me, and they're sort of doing the song in honor of me, which is very humbling. It's humbling.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Kiwis, bro. Or we all like to look after each other. If one of the boys is doing well, then everybody does what they can to help everybody else do well, or we just support that person. And you definitely have that here.
Yeah, it gives you pleasure. It gives you pleasure seeing others do well.
Are you going to give us a line? Are you going to give us some beats, man?
1, 2, 1, 2. That's all I got.
Mic check. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Bad boy. Awesome. Juro, you got anything else you want to touch on?
Man, I've got like millions of questions because, like Shane has said, when you turn 40, man, you're in the gym doing cardio, doing training, and then you stop and go, wait, my elbows are sore, my knees are sore, I'm tired as hell, now I have to go to work, why am I doing this? But everyone's got, that 18-year-old feeling where like, man, I want to be strong, I want to look good and that. So, hearing from a professional athlete, especially an athlete at your level, man, that's just like mind-boggling. It's something that like younger people, especially Shane and myself, wanted to be but never achieved it. Maybe the reasons, vary from not having the opportunity or, choosing other options where we could have, so it's fascinating hearing what you do, because let's face it, not many people, 1% or 1% of the world's population turns pro, even less in any sport, any discipline. So yeah, it's really good to hear any insight you have being a professional athlete. That's just, priceless.
Yeah, I think plus when you get to this level, I think it's important that you, like you say, and thank you guys for the opportunity just to give an insight on what we go through, on what's sort of involved in becoming, a professional athlete in any sport, and just the team that you have around you. It's so important to know everything that's involved. So it's good to for those that are listening, and hopefully they if they have goals and things they want to achieve and aim for, that they could also find the right path and right people to help them.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. Any messages for the fans back home in NZ?
My message would be, firstly, thanks for the great support. The support means a lot to me, and when I see my country is behind me, that gives me extra drive to, when times do get hard in training, just to push through and keep working, keep grinding. My message would be to tune in for the fight, because I'm going to go out there, put on the best performance of my life. I'm in great shape. I've trained so hard for this fight, and I'm looking forward to representing.
Awesome, bro. The whole country is here supporting you, and I've talked to some of the boys in the All Blacks, and I was at the Hurricanes training last week, and all the boys asked, "Oh, how's Joe going, bro? Wish him well. Send our love from New Zealand." So everyone back here is thinking about you on your prep, and we're all here supporting you. So keep doing the work, bro, and we look forward to the day.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, guys. Thanks to the country.
Joseph, just before we wrap up, after this fight's over, is there anywhere people can meet you, see you in real life, in any location close to New Zealand, Australia, maybe internationally?
Yeah, after this fight, I'm flying straight back to New Zealand. I'll be in South Auckland.
Whoa. And
my home address is jokes.
I was going to say, it's like, hey, Joseph, he was flying out on the Friday, I think, and then on Wednesday or Thursday, is there any supplement shops in South Auckland I can get some muscle farm? I was like, surely, bro, there's none in South Auckland.
Listen, seriously, after the fight, if people want to come in, just so I could say thank you for the support. I reckon Shane will have a supplement, your supplement company, that you can have a store that I can come, just be there for a bit and say hi to everyone.
Yeah,
I think we can sort something out.
In Auckland, we have the NZ Muscle Gym on Constellation Drive that have that big life-size, or bigger than life-size mural of you.
I think we should set something up, and we'll definitely just to give thanks and just to meet everyone and say appreciate the support.
That's awesome, man.
Let's make it happen.
I might even come down. But to all our listeners, so 31st of March 2018, that's only a couple of weeks away in Cardiff, Wales. So check your local guides, check the time difference. The main event is your man, our special guest, Joseph Parker, WBO heavyweight champion, taking on Anthony Joshua. So tune in, check your guides. And as Joseph said, what's your final message, man?
I'm going to war. Back me.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Crispy all day.
Yeah. And if you're in New Zealand, you've got to buy it on Sky TV.
Sky TV.
Get the credit card out. We all got credit cards.
Not the Cousins TV, Sky TV.
Not those cheap internet downloads that the pros are on. None of those ones. Well, Joe, bro, thank you for your time, man. You've always made me feel part of Team Parker and part of your family. I'm honored to be your bro. So I really appreciate you taking time for us, especially as you're flying out tomorrow and this close to the fight. So means
Brother,
a lot,
anything
bro.
for you. Anything. No, seriously, what I said before was the truth. I really appreciate you guys jumping on board when no one else wanted to look after us. Really, I really do mean that.
Nah, all day, brother. Love you, bro. Thanks for your time.
Love you, brother. Hey, brother, in Australia, look forward to catching up
Thank you.
in Auckland.
Nah, man, totally humbled. Never spoken to you before. This is our first conversation, and man, honestly, I'm pumped and wish you the best. And it's great what you're doing in the cause. And wow, what a guy, man. Talking to sports personalities, you don't know what you're going to get, but we got more from you than I'd ever expect or dream for. So God bless you, and thanks for that, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brothers. You guys
Thank
enjoy
you,
the rest of the day. We'll talk soon. Keep in touch.
All right, man.
Yeah, get it, bro. Cheer, brother.
See you, brother.
See you, boys.
See you, Joe.
Hey yo, check it. The hour power. POD cast is upon your ass.